Hey party people, let's talk about couture. I got a ton of requests for this video. I'm going to talk to you about couture while I draw some of my favorite pieces from the shows, and then at the end of this video I'm going to go over more outfits and talk to you about what makes them so special. Before I start, I wanted to apologize in advance for my poor French, but I actually have a little canker sore at the very tip of my tongue today, and so I'm just gonna sound a little funny no matter what language I speak today. Such is life, life goes on. All right, so on with couture. Okay, so haute couture. The word haute means high, as in elevated, high class. And couture means dressmaking or sewing or needlework, and haute couture means the most elevated, highest level of fashion. Nowadays, people say couture and they mean haute couture. If you watch my video, How to Design for Every Price Point, then you'll know that couture is the category of fashion that is the most expensive, created with the highest quality craftsmanship, and shows off the most avant-garde and fashion-forward styles, color combinations, silhouettes, and ideas. A couturier is a person or company who creates couture garments. And a couturiere is the feminine version, like actor and actress. It's not enough for your dress to cost $50,000 to qualify as couture. Haute couture has very specific rules for official qualification. In France, there is a trade association called the Fédération de la Haute Couture et de la Mode, which means the Federation of Haute Couture and Fashion. The name used to be even longer and harder to pronounce, but they changed it in 2017 for poor American teachers like myself. I know. The whole of France is going to hate me by the end of the video, and I'll never be allowed back. Anyway, the Federation sets the dates for Paris Fashion Week, and it establishes industry standards on quality in France. The Federation is comprised of 3 CHAMBRE syndicales, or central bodies, one for couture, one for women's fashion, and one for men's fashion. The Chambre syndicale de la Haute Couture selects who is and is not an official haute couture house. To be considered an official haute couture house, you must follow these qualifications. 1. The house must design 2 collections a year with a minimum of 35 new designs each collection, including both day and evening looks. Currently, the couture collections are presented to the public in January and July of every year. 2. These designs must be produced on a made-to-order basis for private clients, one at a time, with more than one fitting. And actually, typically, at least 3 fittings are involved. 3. The couture house must use an atelier, aka a workshop, that employs at least 15 full-time staff. They must also have at least 20 full-time technical workers in one of their workshops. You might think it's weird that there are no design standards involved, but remember, the Federation, the umbrella organization, not the thing on Star Trek, establishes industry-wide standards. The Federation also has a fashion school, the ECOLE de la Chambre syndicale de la Couture Parisienne, and the school is famous for teaching technical atelier skills and craftsmanship above all subjects in fashion. Like, they teach everything, but they're really known for teaching the technical atelier skills. You don't have to have studied at this school to become a couturier or couturiere, and graduation from this school doesn't guarantee anything either. It's a good school that teaches this stuff. Official couture houses include Dior, Chanel, Givenchy, Jean-Paul Gaultier, and you don't have to be French. Their foreign members include Armani, Valentino, and GIAMBATTIsta VALLI. Every season, the Chambre Syndicale invites some guests to show as well, and they cannot use the term haute couture. Official guests can only use the term couture until they become an official member. Each couture garment is made from scratch for each customer and takes about 100 to 400 hours to make one dress. I know, that's all. 100 to 400 hours. Prices average 20 to 100K, meaning that's not the limit, that's the average. Oh, my face hurts just saying that. The estimate is that there are about 2,000 couture customers nowadays, only 200 being regular customers. There used to be a lot more, but you know, the entire fashion industry and couture and everything was structured very differently in the past, so that's a whole lesson in fashion history. It is widely acknowledged that generally couture does not generate profit as clothing sales avenue. Couture houses are currently used as vehicles for marketing. Outfits are lent out to fashion magazines and publications for photo shoots, lent out to celebrities to walk the red carpet, that sort of thing. Showing the world a prime example of a design house's style and aesthetic and attitude, and the cachet of being associated with specific celebrities really helps sell the ready-to-wear, the sunglasses, the handbags, the shoes, the lipsticks, especially in today's kind of celebrity-obsessed world. The general attitude across the fashion industry is that calling yourself couture without actually being officially determined a couture house is that it makes you sound amateur. I mentioned this before, but the company Juicy Couture gets away with this because they are clearly joking. They're clearly being tongue-in-cheek about it. So yeah, nobody actually thinks they're trying to be couture. Using couture sewing techniques does not make you a couturier. When Erin Featherston first came out, she talked a lot about how the quality of her garments were elevated because her mother used to sew at a couture house and passed on these tricks to her. But not once did she claim that her label was actually a couture house. Many people think it would be easiest to design couture because everything is made by hand and you don't have to think about how to design for mass production. However, it's quite difficult to design and craft for couture because the prices are so high. The expectations for design and quality are exponentially higher than they are for ready-to-wear. So what makes a garment couture? The materials must be the most luxurious, exquisite fabrics, hand-tatted laces, hand-twisted braids, 100% silk, 100% virgin merino wool, the sparkliest crystal beading, not bleeding, and the highest quality trims and closures. The design can't be anything easily produced on a mass scale. Asymmetrical, clever drapes, dramatic silhouettes that take up a real presence in the room, every little detail paid the utmost attention. The most luxurious, glamorous, intricate, elaborate evening wear. The most immaculately tailored suits. Top-notch quality. Everything handmade, hand-sewn, hand-embroidered, hand-beaded, hand-appliqued, hand-smocked. Embroidery so tightly stitched the surface feels like water. All seam finishes, absolutely gorgeous. The inside should be as beautiful as the outside. Vogue.com has some really great close-up shots of all their runway shows, and if you open up the file in a separate window, then you can get really close up on an image. And if you look real close, look at this Dior outfit. Clean finish binding and chevron panels, blind stitched by hand on the sheerest fabrics, is already a major feat of construction. But look at these seams and darts, trimmed and finished so they look absolutely minimal on this sheer fabric. Look at this absolutely gorgeous drape, deceptively simple, asymmetrical, but it doesn't look like a sheet bunched up around the body. Like a lot of these like trying to be cool with like one cool drape outfits, they kind of look like that. But this one, stunning. Look at these immaculately pleated doilies with frayed edges. And you know they've been frayed ever so precisely. How do you pleat that by hand in silk? Those teeny, tiny little pleats on these little doilies. And what is happening with the appliques on this skirt? Tiny pleated appliques blind stitched onto sheer fabric. Shut up. Oh my God. So not only do you have to craft everything immaculately, you have to design very special embellishments that you don't commonly see. I think one of the hallmarks of the Givenchy style is the marriage of structure and fluidity, going all the way back to Monsieur Givenchy's costumes for Audrey Hepburn movies. Here's a very clever combination of old school couture in the flow of the skirt, the intricate applique flowers, and modern materials. Another such combination here, an exquisitely flowered skirt, an immaculately constructed corset in a very modern shape. I seriously ogled this construction for a long time. Just look at how pristine it is. Look at this coat. How do you get such a perfectly tailored structure in lace? It's sheer and there is nowhere to hide all the layers of feather stitching and horsehair and interfacing you typically find in a bespoke jacket. This is a feather and pearl cocktail of eye candy galore. A true couture house can take even the simplest ensembles and make them look absolutely the height of luxury. Wide swaths of fabric unfettered by fussy seams to create luxurious, slouchy, insouciant shapes. The weight of the materials make for a heavy, rich drape. These surprising but elevated color combinations that will be copied by everyone quite soon. That's a split complementary on the left, pale red, dark yellow green, aka chartreuse, and a light and bright blue green. On the right, that's a complementary color combination, pale red, melony light red, dark reddish brown, and green. This ensemble features a colorful floral print with sections cut away and then lace flowers appliqued over the cutouts. This kind of attention to surface texture and fabric manipulation really elevates the design beyond a dress. Couture looks amazing and creates impact from a distance and also offers something really special to the wearer up close. But even with more standard traditional beading, the design, color combination, craftsmanship, mixture of textures must be elevated and supreme. Fantastical, outlandish shapes and drapes are another hallmark of VALLI and couture in general. And of course, very special embellishment that is a combination of beads, silk flowers, and itty bitty stitch flowers. Do you see them? They are so small and subtle, but just work with everything else. So how do you get a job in couture? I think that's everyone's question. Go to France, become a top-notch designer, work your little butt off, get to know all the right people. Okay? Design your socks off, get hired, and work your way up. Even those who want to start their own couture house have to design for years outside of couture while still creating at couture level, like Christian Lacroix, Jean-Paul Gaultier. They were designing for a long time their own designer ready-to-wear labels before they were able to become official guests, etc., etc. I didn't get too much into the history of couture because that would make this video entirely too long, but if you're interested, Charles Frederick Worth is considered the father of couture, and you can look him up. Yes, an Englishman is known as the father of haute couture. Don't kill me. I didn't make that up. Rose Bertin was Marie Antoinette's dressmaker and is often referred to as the first celebrated French fashion designer. So you can look her up too if you're really into fashion history and want to learn more. Please give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today. Share, subscribe, drop your questions in the comment section below. Check out ZoeHong.com to sign up for my newsletter and check in with my shenanigans. You'll find links to all my social media and everything I'm up to at zoehong.com, and I will see you in the next video.